the mind of an ancient Greek genius and try to figure out why he turned down some pretty wild inventions. The ancient Greek genius I'm referring to is none other than Archimedes, a true pioneer in mathematics, physics, and engineering. His contributions to society are still widely recognized today, from the principles of buoyancy and fluid dynamics to the development of innovative machines like the claw of Archimedes. Archimedes' unique perspective on inventions was shaped by his fascination with the potential of human ingenuity, and his work continues to inspire wonder and curiosity about the potential of technology to shape our world. The ancient Greek world was a hotbed of innovation, with thinkers and inventors proposing all sorts of new ideas and technologies. Some of these inventions were truly groundbreaking, with the potential to revolutionize industries and improve people's lives. However, others were more questionable, with the potential to cause harm or destruction on a massive scale. One such invention was the catapult, a powerful siege engine capable of hurling massive projectiles at enemy fortifications. While the catapult was an impressive feat of engineering, it was also a highly destructive technology that could be used to devastating effect in battle. Another invention that raised concerns was the development of poison gas, which could be used to incapacitate or kill large numbers of people. The use of such weapons would have significant societal implications, including the potential for widespread harm to civilians and the erosion of trust between nations. The use of these destructive technologies was often justified as a means of gaining a strategic advantage in warfare, but they also posed significant risks to innocent people and the environment. The ancient Greeks were aware of these risks, and many thinkers and philosophers grappled with the ethics of using such technologies. For example, the philosopher Aristotle wrote extensively on the ethics of warfare and the importance of minimizing harm to non-combatants. The development of these destructive inventions also sparked debates about the role of technology in society and the responsibilities of inventors and leaders to consider the potential consequences of their actions. As the ancient Greek world became increasingly complex and interconnected, the need for careful consideration of the potential impact of new technologies became more pressing than ever. The ancient Greek genius I'm focusing on, Archimedes, was deeply troubled by the development of these destructive inventions. He believed that the pursuit of knowledge and innovation should be guided by a sense of responsibility and respect for human life. Archimedes was a true visionary, and his work on mathematics and physics was driven by a desire to understand the underlying principles of the universe. However, he was also deeply aware of the potential risks and consequences of his discoveries, and he was careful to consider the potential impact of his work on society. This sense of responsibility and ethics guided Archimedes' approach to invention and innovation, and it ultimately led him to reject the development of destructive technologies like the catapult and poison gas. Archimedes' thought process was shaped by his philosophical beliefs and his values as a human being. He believed that the pursuit of knowledge and innovation should be guided by a sense of wonder, curiosity, and respect for the natural world. He also believed that inventors and leaders had a responsibility to consider the potential consequences of their actions and to strive for the betterment of society. These values and principles guided Archimedes' work and led him to focus on the development of technologies that could improve people's lives and promote the greater good. By exploring Archimedes' thought process and philosophical beliefs, we can gain a deeper understanding of what drove him to reject destructive inventions and pursue a more positive and beneficial path. The implications of technological advancement were a major concern for Archimedes, and he spent a great deal of time considering the potential consequences of his discoveries. He was aware that new technologies could be used for good or ill, and he was determined to use his knowledge and skills to promote the greater good. This sense of responsibility and ethics guided Archimedes' approach to invention and innovation, and it ultimately led him to make some difficult choices about the kinds of technologies he was willing to develop. By examining the values and principles that guided Archimedes' work, we can gain a deeper understanding of what it means to be a responsible and ethical innovator. And we can learn valuable lessons about the importance of considering the potential consequences of our actions. Archimedes' rejection of destructive inventions was also influenced by his experiences and observations of the world around him. He lived during a time of great turmoil and conflict, and he saw firsthand the devastating effects of war and violence. These experiences likely shaped his views on the use of technology in warfare and his determination to focus on the development of more positive and beneficial technologies. By exploring the historical context in which Archimedes lived and worked, we can gain a deeper understanding of what drove him to reject destructive inventions and pursue a more peaceful and constructive path. This, in turn, can help us to better appreciate the importance of considering the potential consequences of our actions and striving for a more ethical and responsible approach to innovation. A pivotal moment in Archimedes' life that solidified his stance against destructive inventions was his experience during the Second Punic War. During this conflict, Archimedes' hometown of Syracuse was besieged by the Roman general Marcellus, and Archimedes was forced to use his knowledge and skills to defend the city. Although he was ultimately unsuccessful in preventing the fall of Syracuse, Archimedes' experiences during this time had a profound impact on his views on war and technology. He saw the devastating effects of warfare up close and personal, and he was deeply troubled by the suffering and destruction that he witnessed. This experience likely reinforced his commitment to rejecting destructive inventions and pursuing a more peaceful and constructive path. The fall of Syracuse was a traumatic event for Archimedes, and it had a profound impact on his life and work. He was killed by a Roman soldier during the sack of the city, and his death was a tragic loss for the world of mathematics and science. However, even in death, Archimedes' legacy lived on, and his work continued to inspire and influence generations of thinkers and innovators. By examining the pivotal moments in Archimedes' life, we can gain a deeper understanding of what drove him to reject destructive inventions and pursue a more positive and beneficial path. This, in turn, can help us to better appreciate the importance of considering the potential consequences of our actions and striving for a more ethical and responsible approach to innovation. The rejection of destructive inventions by Archimedes was also influenced by his relationships with other thinkers and philosophers of his time. He was part of a vibrant community of scholars and intellectuals, and he engaged in lively debates and discussions about the ethics of technology and the responsibilities of innovators. These conversations likely shaped his views on the use of technology in warfare and his determination to focus on the development of more positive and beneficial technologies. By exploring the social and cultural context in which Archimedes lived and worked, we can gain a deeper understanding of what drove him to reject destructive inventions and pursue a more peaceful and constructive path. This, in turn, can help us to better appreciate the importance of considering the potential consequences of our actions and striving for a more ethical and responsible approach to innovation. The historical event that had the most significant impact on Archimedes' stance against destructive inventions was the rise of the Roman Empire. As the Romans expanded their territories and conquered new lands, they brought with them new technologies and new ways of warfare. Archimedes saw the devastating effects of these technologies firsthand, and he was deeply troubled by the suffering and destruction that they caused. The rise of the Roman Empire marked a significant turning point in Archimedes' life and work, and it ultimately led him to reject the development of destructive technologies like the catapult and poison gas. By examining the historical context in which Archimedes lived and worked, we can gain a deeper understanding of what drove him to reject destructive inventions and pursue a more peaceful and constructive path. In summary, Archimedes was a true visionary who rejected destructive inventions and pursued a more positive and beneficial path. His contributions to mathematics, physics, and engineering are still widely recognized today, and his legacy continues to inspire and influence generations of thinkers and innovators. The key points discussed in this video highlight the importance of considering the consequences of inventions and the legacy of Archimedes. By exploring the values and principles that guided Archimedes' work, we can gain a deeper understanding of what it means to be a responsible and ethical innovator. And we can learn valuable lessons about the importance of striving for a more peaceful and constructive approach to technology and innovation. Thanks for watching, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on technology and ethics. Do you think we're doing enough to consider the potential consequences of our actions? Or are we prioritizing progress over responsibility? Let me know in the comments below, and be sure to check out another video on ancient innovations that changed the world, where we'll explore more fascinating stories of discovery and invention from ancient civilizations.